Hello everybody, Aragoth here, and in this video I want to talk to everybody about your first year in the game. My original plan was to record a playthrough of me actually doing the entire first year, but when I went through the video was just too long. I could have either done it in parts, but I found that it's probably just best for me to summarize all the most important information to be looking at rather than expecting people to watch a hour long video. Even after cuts and edits, it was an hour long. And I think people would just be jumping around too much trying to find the good information versus me just rambling. Um, so I'm going to try and break it down into what to do when you first get in the game. And hopefully this will help people out when they're getting going and to get them a good head start. So when you start into the game on your first year, this is where you load in. The first thing that I do, or that I think people should do as well, is to move down to this location here and grab the items from that fallen cart, and then immediately move over to this location for this fallen cart. These two will give you a good jump ahead in the game with the items that you get from those two carts. This one being extremely important because it's a bow and a few arrows. And then you can use the unstuck feature to bounce back to your starting location and then go to Gustovia. In Gustovia, you want to obviously talk to the Castellan the first time, get that going. And then once you've talked to the Castellan the first time, you want to find Alwyn. He will be in the fields just south of town, and you want to start his quest line right away. The reason you want to do it so quickly is because it's gonna ask for you to wait till the next summer. And if you wait till summer to do his quest line, then you'll have to wait till the second year summer to continue because it only changes on the season change. So that's very important. Um, it's it's important in that first year to stick to the quests in this main town. Um, the quest that the Castling gives you will send you to Sambor, who is located up here. He's a lone hunter. Um, and then I try to time it that my quest from Alwyn that sends me to Denica to fix his water skin coincides with being sent to Denica by the Castellan after talking to Sambor. So that way you can, knock out as many things at one time and you're not bouncing back and forth constantly. Definitely use the unstuck feature to bounce yourself back to the starting point whenever you're, up on this part of the map and you want to move over here quick to get to Gustovia. You can also see where I choose to place my village. I'm pretty much always around this lake. I think this is my favorite spot so far. It leaves me really close to Denica, which is a good village to get to. It puts me pretty central to everything. Um, and, I'm away from the unstuck fast travel cheat. So if I am, up in Rolnica, I can quickly bounce down here to go to Hornica or to get up to Gustovia. I will typically build a extra resource shed. Not in the first year. It's usually a second or even third year thing that I'll build a resource shed up here so that I have a quick way of bouncing to resource shed into town to sell things. And I like to have it near Gustovia because Gustovia has the highest amount of merchants. Okay. And then I'm also fast enough that if I need to run to Denica for more merchants, I can do that from home pretty quickly. Another great tip to remember is that on season change, you wake up in your own bed. So if you're, out here farming near Sambor's area at the season's end, you will, when you sleep that last night of each season away, end up back in town. So it's something to keep in mind when you're planning things. The buildings that I like to make sure that I have in that first year is 2 woodsheds, a hunting lodge, food storage, and resource storage. And then enough houses to house everybody for those jobs. The the barn and the barn and the workshop are things that I typically do in the second year. The barn early second year because I want to start planting stuff in the spring. So we'll get a farmer. And then the workshop is still kind of low priority. I get it going just because I can. Um, the woodshed should be the first uh, job building that you make because you want to have a recruit pulling logs and firewood and sticks for you as quickly as possible. And I like to get a second one down quickly so that I can start overstocking on those items as quickly as possible so that I'm ahead of the curve as I start to recruit more and more people. My general rule on woodsheds is that I like to have one woodshed for every 5 adults that I have. And we can see at the moment I have 6, which is why I've jumped up into my second woodshed already. This I am currently in the summer of my second year, so I'm not too far past that first year that I did that all that recording through. So you can see, you know, pretty much what I did in that first year. Income is not a focus of mine in that first year, right until the very end of the year. And even then, it's not much. Like I'll spend usually the last day or last 2 days of winter just farming and gathering stuff, with the focus being on leather. Whatever leather you happen to get throughout your first year, keep it all and turn it into simple bags. Either, have somebody in the workshop, or sorry, you need the smithy to be doing that, I believe, not the workshop. I don't think the workshop can do it. Let's just double check here. Yeah. But you can craft them in your own crafting right here, the simple bags, 3 leather. They are an amazing moneymaker. And even just with the little bit of leather that you're going to get in that first year, I think I sold 38 bags, 38 to 40 simple bags in that first year. And after taxes, I was still well over 1,000 coin. So you can see I'm at 1,300. I think I've actually spent some since. I think I was right around 1,500 after paying my taxes first thing in spring. So with very little focus on it, just whatever my hunters got, whatever I picked up from my own hunting, because you're going to do a lot of personal hunting in that early going, trying to finish the chapter quests. So you're going to pick up a lot of leather. Sell the fur just outright, but keep the leather to make bags. 3 leather sells for 16.8 gold, I believe. Sorry, 6 leather sells for 16.8 gold. That same 6 leather can be made into 2 bags, which you can then turn around and sell for 28 gold instead, or 28 coin. So that's a big jump up for the same materials. It's a huge return on investment doing simple bags. So that's why I suggest them. I know there's a lot of people that like to do stone knives, and other things like that. But for one, stone isn't easy to farm in your first year at all. And even once you do start farming stone, I would suggest that it's better to make stone buildings with the stone that you get rather than to make stone knives. Simple bags are they're light, they're easy. You're going to pick up a lot of leather just anyways. And food, thankfully, is very easy to come by. So you can set your hunting lodge. You can see, we'll go in here. My hunting lodge, I've set to 55% leather. Um, and that's because I currently have feathers turned up. One of my focuses as I start to develop further will be to get chickens. And once that happens, I will turn the feathers down on here about to maybe just down 5 or maybe 10% and put the rest of that into leather. And I'll have my chickens producing feathers for me heavily because feathers are another really great return. Just super easy to get feathers and you get a ton for them. So they're fantastic. So feathers and leather, but leather into simple bags. Great way to make money. And you just continue to build up your ability to make income off of those as things progress. The next thing I want to talk about is when you're recruiting people in your first year, go village to village at the start of each season and find the best recruits. Find the people with a lot of twos and threes, or at least threes where it counts. So like if you when you need your hunter, make sure that you've got, a three in hunting for that. You've got, you know, a three survival for your gatherer, three extraction for your multiple woodworkers or lumberjacks. Um, and obviously getting people like Dobermere, who has a lot of threes across his skills, gives you a lot of flexibility. So as you get other recruits, like maybe you don't find someone that's got three gathering, but they, have three hunting, having that flexibility to be able to switch jobs on people so that you've got, your points maximized, really important. So keep that in mind. Um, and I think that covers everything to look for in the first year. Uh, don't focus on quests early on, other than the ones that I told you about, the ones in Gustovia. If you see quests that are super easy to complete, knock them out, get the extra reputation and rewards from them. But don't do stuff that's going to take you too far out of your way to get them done. Stick to what your goals are, season to season, day to day, uh, and don't let stuff that pushes you off of that get you too distracted. Ultimately, you want to be able to get to the point, because I think a lot of people start to struggle right around year 4 and 5 because they aren't focusing their village to have their production ready for the tax jump that is going to happen to you as you grow. Um, so you want to make sure you're balancing hunting lodges, woodworkers, and your uh, amount of taxes that are building season to season. And it does build every season. So like mine right now is 175. Um, at the end of each season, this will increase by that amount if I didn't make any changes to my village. But each new building that you add increases your taxes depending on the building. So you can see, like, if I add, like right now I'm paying 10 gold tax for this small house that nobody's living in, but I built it just very recently because I know I'm going to be moving a few more villagers in, that are going to be working in the barn. Um, and also recruit in pairs of male female so that you can have husband and wives moving in together. So that's definitely something to keep your eye on, is that you're trying to recruit that way so that you're not having to have extra houses because you can only find males, or you're only recruiting males or only recruiting females, so on and so forth. Um, yeah, I hope this helps. If you have any questions, or anything that I wasn't clear on, or that you'd want to discuss a little further, please let me know. Message me here or message me on Reddit, and I'll try to help out in any way that I can. Keep an eye out for more videos. I'm going to start doing smaller focused videos, um, stuff that's going to be only like 5 to 10 minutes long, where I'm focusing on like how to manage your woodworkers, how to manage your hunters, uh, very to the point videos, so that people aren't having to go through and listen to a bunch of stuff that isn't what they came for. You can just click the video that suits what you want help with and get it. So I look forward to that stuff. And thanks for listening, everybody. I hope this helps guide people even just a little bit. And happy gaming.